Hello, and thank you for joining Give a Grad a Go's first mini YouTube series. Today, we're going to be discussing the types of roles that you can find in tech and cloud computing. We're joined by Richard Simon, an industry professional who has over 30 years worth of experience in cloud computing and the IT sector. Before we get started, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. If you're on YouTube, click the alert button, and if you like our video, then please click like and share. Now, over to you, Richard. What types of roles are there in tech and cloud computing?
So in terms of types of roles, by all means, this following list that we're going to go through is not exhaustive. So there's lots of different types of jobs and titles out there in the IT industry in general, and also in the cloud computing space. Also, the other thing to bear in mind is that there is a huge difference in terms of some of the way that a similar title or the same title is actually described by two different recruiters or companies or vendors. So again, there's a misuse of titles out there in the industry. So always try to look for a job description or look for a something that actually provides you with perhaps day-to-day activities that you'll be doing in that role. That could be in the job description, or that could be something that either the recruiter or the employer may be able to actually provide you as well. So there is a role around the area sort of dealing with and managing infrastructure. So that could be called an infrastructure engineer in the more traditional terms. It could be IT ops or IT operations, or it could be kind of support, type of a support role. In that, you'll be basically looking at managing anything from hardware to software to a cloud environment perhaps, and making sure that the infrastructure around that environment is actually up and running and is available to the business. In terms of a software engineer, this is really a developer role, a programmer role. So here you're actually developing software, writing software for either a vendor or writing software for a particular organization, a company that you might be working for. This could be software that's the business relies on, or it could be background software that has peripheral sort of connection with with the business systems. But nevertheless, it's a development role. And the software engineer is really there to write the software that will provide a particular service either to the business or as a product that a vendor can actually sell as a solution. In terms of design and architecture, this is really around putting together a solution for either a particular project, if you happen to be working for an enterprise, or actually part of perhaps a proposal or a design, a high-level design that you might be providing as a vendor to your particular customer. And it's all really about putting the whole solution together. So this person will not necessarily be hands-on, so to speak. A lot of job descriptions provide that, so again, look out for that. But it'll be more around how the whole solution for this particular project, for this particular application or service that you want to provide to the business, how all of that will actually fit together and how will it operate. So it's really more about design, it's more about protocols, more about standards, and how all the different components of that design actually fit together and communicate together. One of the other roles that's up and coming recently is that of the data scientist. So this is kind of quite close to, the sort of database analyst type of role, a database administrator, but also includes a lot of the new technologies that cloud computing also provides as well. This could be around the area of analytics, could be around the area of AI and machine learning, and all of these are different roles and different types of ways that a data scientist will be able to actually engage to work on a set of data that particular enterprise might have. In terms of a vendor role, it'll be really mostly, again, around being able to provide these solutions to a customer and being able to help that customer to actually make the best use of those data solutions. But predominantly, data scientists tend to be those that actually deal with data and manage the data and secure the data and be able to actually procure some information that's useful to the enterprise from that raw data. Another type of role is called the systems engineer. Now, again, this is quite a broad title. Similar titles might include pre-sales, sales engineer, technical sales engineer, pre-sales engineer, etc. All of these are effectively a systems engineer, or SE for short. These predominantly tend to be vendor related, so you'd be expecting these to appear really in job descriptions from IT vendors. They could be hardware, they could be software, they could be more of the latest sort of cloud related roles, but effectively these are all quite similar. And this title of or the role of systems engineer or pre-sales engineer, you're really working with a kind of a four-way connection there. You'll be working with account managers or sales representatives who actually will sell the solution from that particular vendor. You might be working with business partners that work with that vendor company. So they'll be providing their own services, they'll be providing their own support, and perhaps not even reselling the vendor solutions. And obviously you'll be working with the end user or the end customer as well, and that's your sort of normal enterprise organization. And the role of the systems engineer is really to help overcome any technical issues that customers might have in terms of evaluating that solution from the vendor, or they might have some technical questions that require answering. It could be part of a bid or a process or a proposal that might be required. And the other aspects of it include doing things like presentations, doing demonstrations of the hardware or software that you have, and really looking at and taking care of all the activities around the technical aspects of that solution that you're trying to sell. Some of the more recent titles include things like site reliability engineer or customer reliability engineer. So these are fairly new terms, and they're predominantly cloud related. And again, mostly on the vendor side. And again, these are all really about taking care of a particular environment and ensuring that particular environment, that IT environment, is actually operating and working. So there's an element of provisioning or deployment of that environment that would be required. So the SRE and the CRE will be required to stand up that particular environment and actually install that environment. But also they'll be required to look after that environment and maybe fine-tune that environment. And it could be a combination of hardware, software, or particular services that are running in the cloud. So the SRE's job is really to ensure that particular site, be it a physical site or a virtual site in the cloud, is actually up and running. It is tuned to what is required to be produced from that service or be used from that service, as well as be able to actually maintain that particular site as well. So that will include things like upgrades, patches, and so on as well. One of the other roles that's, again, very much kind of misused is the IT consultant, or simply the consultant role. And again, depending on which vendor you might be conversing with, or it might be a particular enterprise organization, you need to be, again, careful in terms of what the consultant role actually means in that particular context. So again, do ask for a job description or a description of day-to-day activities of the consultant. But generally speaking, the IT consultant is really there to provide choices in terms of the technologies and solutions that are available in order to tackle a particular business challenge. Those challenges could be related to how the business operates. It could be related to where the business wants to migrate to. So perhaps going from a data center into the public cloud, or it could be just simply really finding the right software solution to overcome a particular business challenge. Beyond all of these titles and jobs, there are obviously a number of other roles as well. As we said, we won't be able to tackle and mention all of those here, but suffice to say, they're all the kind of usual titles, such as project manager, chief technology officer, CIO, IT director, and so on, are all there as well to be explored. And as you progress through your career, hopefully you'll be able to gain more experience and be able to actually aim for these other higher roles as well, which will obviously yield their own rewards in terms of the type of things that you'll be engaging with and a level within the IT organization that you'll be reaching.
Thank you very much for joining us today, Richard, and thanks to everyone for watching. Stay tuned for part 2 of our Tech Jobs video series, or head over to our website to start applying for IT jobs at www.giveagradago.com.